Hello everybody, welcome back to the Maverick channel, and on this channel we talk about cryptocurrencies, we talk about digital currencies, whatever word you want to call them. We talk about this new revolution, this new virtual revolution, and we try to look at the trends, we try to look at where we're going. And what you're seeing on the screen here is a very clear trend. Okay, we're seeing Bitcoin bounce back to $40,000 after it crashed almost below $30,000 just a few weeks ago. That presented a tremendous buying opportunity. And I remember I did a video talking about how the red markets are the most exciting markets, because these markets present opportunities that you could have never gotten. At the time when people are buying in, when the markets are green, when everything is high, when people are making TikTok videos, all kinds of weird YouTube videos, all kinds of faces, all these kinds of thumbnails, that's the time when you should be extremely fearful, when you should be extremely scared of the market, and you should be extremely cautious. When the markets dropped, when Bitcoin tanked, if you look at the technology, it's still sound. You still look at the consensus algorithms, the security, the way it operates, transactions still operate. Bitcoin has never gone off. That shows to you that each time the markets go red, like the way they did, Bitcoin dropped like 50% of its value, all the way from 69,000 actually to about 32,000. So more than 50% of its value. That presents a very good opportunity. So countries like El Salvador that took advantage of this opportunity to buy up some more Bitcoin are celebrating now. Of course, these guys made up their mind. People like Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, these companies changed their balance sheet to Bitcoin. Guys, I'm talking about Bitcoin because it is the king in the cryptocurrency space. It's the leader. It decides the price. All cryptocurrencies, digital currencies are still very pegged to BTC. And despite some of the currencies pumping during this time, if we had seen a continuous maintained drop in the Bitcoin price, those would have consequently as well dropped. So this spike back up in the Bitcoin price, I don't know what it means, but it's a good thing. You can see across the board there's green, tremendous green, and there's been this tremendous amount of opportunity. 10% in Bitcoin, 12% Ethereum. You can see other Solana, DOT. These squares represent each share of these particular digital currencies when it comes to market capitalization. When you go to a site like CoinMarketCap, let me just show you real quick. If you choose a particular digital currency, you can look at a few metrics. Let me just briefly talk about those metrics before I continue in today's video. We can see here what we call the market capitalization. So how they get this, they get the circulating supply of that digital currency, they multiply it by its current price, and then they get this value. And you can see this fully diluted market capitalization. How they get this, they get the maximum supply of this token. So even if it hasn't yet been fully put out into the circulation, or the total supply of that token. So for tokens that might not have a maximum supply, or a current total supply of that token multiplied by the current price, gives you a fully diluted market capitalization. So those are the metrics that you may want to look at. If you're looking at activity of digital currencies, you may want to look at also the trade volume. It's indicated. So the trade volume normally is indicated within a 24-hour period, because that makes more sense. So those are some of the metrics you want to look at, especially if you're looking at digital currencies and opportunities you want to seek out for, especially the trade volume. It shows you the activity of the currency regardless of the price. Okay, so we're going to look at some interesting articles, and at the end of this video I'm going to talk about some products that you may want to look at. A few of these I've talked about in the past, but they're going to really help you if you're checking your metrics, if you want to quickly check out the cryptocurrency space to look at what's going on without having to look at different articles, or if you don't know where to look. Okay, so the first article we want to look at is blockchain startups grow as global VC funding generated $25 billion in 2021. So it's 713% increase in venture capital funding went to global blockchain startups last year. But will this trend continue? So those that have been following my channel, I've been talking about a lot of VC money, venture capitalist money flocking into different digital currencies. We saw platforms like FTX get value to around $19 billion with Series A, C, B, all these types of series fundings. I saw another platform the other day get a Series E funding, something like that. So they got tremendous amount of capital flowing into them. So you see a lot of institutional interest in these digital currencies because they're seeing platforms like Binance and Coinbase generating a tremendous amount of capital. They're seeing investors invest $100 in certain altcoins and making a tremendous amount of percentage returns, thousands and thousands. So VCs and this money wants to play as well. So I'll just read for you this paragraph. I think this speaks for itself. So last year was impressive for blockchain startups as research from CB Insights found that venture capital funding reached new heights during every quarter of 2021, according to CB Insights. So I think this speaks to itself. And if you've been following this space, there's a tremendous amount of interest when you see projects like Avalanche and Solana, a very large interest from the institutional side of things. Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin is always in the news. Marathon mined 462 Bitcoin in January and it holds 8,595 Bitcoin. Of course, guys, these kinds of articles are going to come out, especially if you see the Bitcoin price bounce back up, because this reminds me of stories. Certain markets get saturated during certain times. People get bored by them and they exit. And those people that choose not to exit but stay in this boring market, later they're envied for their continued interest in these platforms, for their continued grind in these platforms without exiting them. So this can apply to all kinds of things in life. So similarly here, when cryptocurrencies tank, other people continue buying, other people continue mining. So that continued sort of persistence in that space gets them an advantage, a tremendous advantage when you look at later, when you look at things retrospectively and in hindsight. When you look at things in hindsight, then of course they had a bigger hand. But when things are red, it's kind of hard to have that perception. So always be fearful when others are greedy and always be greedy when others are fearful. Very simple concept, but very helpful. So we can also get more news. The SEC in the United States, the Securities Exchange Commission, is always featuring in the news because they're the people that seem to be the leaders as far as regulation is concerned. What do I mean by leaders? It's like their decision seems to be the main decision. No company in the crypto space, regardless of whether they get regulation from another company, no company can truly move forward unless they get this regulation from the SEC. At least they've positioned themselves to have that kind of power. I guess in a way, they're kind of fitted into that. So the SEC again delays decision on Grayscale's Bitcoin electronic traded fund. So the Securities and Exchange Commission is once again, Exchange Traded Fund is once again inviting the public to comment on whether a spot Bitcoin ETF represents a material risk to investors. Guys, I always say, it's always good for this kind of regulation because they get different companies and different individuals and policymakers to look deeply at this cryptocurrency space, and it just gets more eyes into this cryptocurrency space. So regulation, no regulation, one thing that we know is that this technology is going to move forward, and hopefully we design regulation that's not going to give an advantage to a few people and impede others, but rather a regulatory framework that's going to maintain a level playing field that's at the core of cryptocurrencies. Okay, I think that's all that's there for this article. Mexico's third richest man. The Federal Reserve has flooded the world with fake money. I think this also speaks for itself. A lot of countries are scared with the way monetary policies are being governed right now. Inflation, we look at constant money printing or monetary easing or quantitative easing, whatever buzzword they want to call this. Countries continue to think this is the easy way out of whatever is going on, but humans are corruptible and they continue with this trend, obviously, which is detrimental to the way things are. And that's why different companies and countries or individuals are looking at safe havens that cannot be taken away, that are immutable, that are secure, that are completely controlled. They have that sovereign advantage with the owner that's holding them, and that ties into Bitcoin and other digital currencies. A metaphor, guys, this article, there's an artist, which is kind of ironic. An artist set up a block, a golden block worth $11.5 million, set it up in Central Park in New York, and later it turned out that the title of the art piece is solid block of gold, something of the sort. A metaphor, in New York, solid gold cube, actually. So later people found out that in the middle of this gold cube, it's not actually solid. There's a space within it. It's a hollow cube. It's not a solid gold cube. But the artist that made this said that it's going to be tokenized, and this is going to represent sort of a first NFT that represents value of a token, something like that, directly tied to a physical asset, something like that. But if some people are saying that this is a metaphor to the promise within the blockchain ecosystem, over promising and under delivering, or over promising and not be able to deliver what is being promised. Some people say it's a metaphor to that, though it would be ironic because the artist still spent all this money within an area. What are they trying to show? Is it the money? Is it the gold? Is it the NFT that's trying to launch? It's kind of, it's lost. I feel like the message is lost within there, because even if it had meant the under promise or over promise of cryptocurrencies, then how come they're using that advantage to actually sell or front their own NFT or their own ideas? But regardless, whatever experiment is taking place in this cryptocurrency space, it's very important to have these experiments so that we can know different ways that people can use this infrastructure that's being developed. So those that might be interested in this, I talked about volume and how that's an important metric when you look at cryptocurrencies and where you want to place your investment. So some article from Cointelegraph that says these tokens saw the biggest trading volume pumps last week. So how could traders benefit? Dramatic increase in trading volume can alert crypto investors to price highs that are yet to come. So this is not investment advice, but rather it's another sort of foray into one way you can look at these metrics. If you're a trader, if you're not looking at things long term, but you want to kind of see those opportunities where you might get a quick trade to increase your liquidity in this market. So they mentioned a couple of articles. One of them is, tokens. One of them is Front, a trading volume explosion following an exchange listing. So Front, a token representing decentralized finance aggregator Frontier, topped the chart last week. So I'll quickly just go through them. QKC, a minor price pumped, anticipates a price peak. Quark Chain, or QKC, saw two dramatic trading volume increases last week, the greater of 2,862%. Guys, remember all this in the so-called bear market, coming last and following the coin's weekly price high. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunity in the cryptocurrency space, and these opportunities are going to continue to be here. It's about yourself and whether you want to continue to get bored by this market, or you want to have your continued presence in this market. I think having a continued presence, the latter is better. So waves, price wave first, trading volume wave second. So let's look at what waves is. At the height of the trading volume momentum that came on January 27, waves registered an 860% increase compared to the weeks before. So guys, this wave platform as well, if you look at things like this, normally you want to get involved in a platform before it pumps. So you got to be careful when you're investing in things, especially when they've already pumped. But I think this article is appealing to the fact that if you look at these metrics before the tokens or platforms get out there into the mainstream, then it can present an opportunity that you can leverage. The Loom Network's trading volume versus price chart looks similar to that of QKC above. So a sudden and short spike in the trading volume coming several hours before a week's peak. So basically it's trying to explain some of these things. OXY, so if you know some of these tokens, I guess that could be something you might look into. Maybe if you're an early investor, you might want to sell, or if you see that the price has primed itself up for an opportunity, then you might want to get involved. In case of Oxygen, OXY, starting from January 24th afternoon, both the price and the trading volume lines embarked on an upside trajectory. So sometimes they look at these different graphs, and when they meet, that could sort of imply that there could be a pump in the price of this particular token. So here they're talking about their compressive crypto data intelligence. Different platforms use different metrics to look at cryptocurrencies. So a quick review at a retreat. This is about Fetch.ai, one of the platforms that I like to talk about on this channel, because I think their technology or what they're creating is extremely revolutionary. We can see a tweet here from Ken Kaneki, sort of reminding us, one of the Bosch executives who talked about the economy of things, and I've talked about this in many of my videos in the past. Bosch Global is helping Fetch.ai build out a full blockchain that could be used, a technology stack that would be used for these things called the economy of things. So Bosch has partnered with AI blockchain startup Fetch.ai with the aim of transforming existing digital ecosystems using distributed ledger technologies. This strategic engineering project is called the economy of things. So that's a good reminder in what we're looking at, why we're looking at these kinds of platforms. And a reminder, connected vehicles on the agenda for climate transformed mobility. This is a reminder for this platform you know, they're going to be some keynote speakers over here, and the CEO of Fetch.ai, Humayun Sheikh, is going to be on this platform talking about how Fetch.ai sort of fits into different things like supply chains and automating different aspects of the virtual world, of the real world, of smart contracts, blockchain, and so on, sort of interconnecting all these things. So for the last part of the videos, the two platforms I wanted to talk about, one of them is DuppRadar. DuppRadar is a good platform that you can use to check rankings of cryptocurrency assets, portfolio, to manage, to check your own portfolio, NFTs, DeFi, and the Radar token as well. You can own the Radar token and have a stake in this platform, so you can get access to their exclusive content as well. So it's an amazing platform to have in your arsenal. If you're in this cryptocurrency space, you get shocked by some of the stuff you find. For example, if you click on all blockchain metrics, you find that PancakeSwap has the most users in the whole digital space, with a wide range of 312 users. Guys, the Hive blockchain we've just looked at has Splinterlands. So you can look at these metrics. You like, okay, DeFi, PancakeSwap, the most used. Splinterlands, I think this goes into the virtual world. Hive and Wax. So you look into the Hive and Wax blockchain. Alien Worlds, this goes into the metaverse as well, or virtual worlds, Wax and Binance Smart Chain. So you have to, when you look at such things, you ask yourself, I really need to look into the Wax blockchain. Those that don't know about Wax, for example, it's sprouted during that EOS time, but not really from the EOS blockchain, but sprouted around that time, and the ecosystems were supposed to be similar, things like that, or a better version of EOS. So that's why you're seeing a lot of Wax, EOS as well being used, because they're very scalable, at least as far as we're concerned right now. And Wax is really dominating the NFT space, though you hear other blockchains like Flow and whatnot. That's why it's important to do your own research, because you get shocked by some of these things. If you click other blockchains as well, you see some of the dominating applications within their ecosystems. So you can use this platform to check different things, your portfolio, your different NFTs, what's happening in NFT space. For example, if you go to NFTs, you can see some of the most bought NFTs, or the leading NFTs like Meebits, Terraforms, Dots. I've never heard of some of these names, but if you're kind of thing, I've heard of CloneX though, one of the most bullish ecosystems. And you can see the Ethereum network is truly leading in the NFT ecosystem. There, Ethereum everywhere. You can learn about the Ronin network right over here. I talked about it yesterday. Data for this DApp is the Ronin network. Data for this DApp networks, okay, I think it's also dealing within data and so on, but continuously you see Ethereum, but it's still attached to Ethereum, and then you see Flow blockchain right here with NBA Top Shot, but still Ethereum all the way to 25. So it's pretty interesting that the top NFTs are all on the Ethereum. Okay guys, the last platform I wanted to talk about is NFT Bank. This is a beautiful platform. I saw this platform a while back, probably 2 years ago, and I've revisited this platform. They've really improved their metrics. They're going to track your NFT metrics, the prices you bought your NFT in the past, your projected current value of the NFTs, and they'll really track this stuff, and they've improved their platform really well. So this is something you might want to look into. It's something else you may want to have in your arsenal, because it's really going to help you easily track your portfolio. These are amazing tools to have in your portfolio, because you're going to make your life easier, and you're going to find out a lot more stuff that you didn't even know about before by looking at these metrics. That's how you do your research. All right guys, I hope you learned something from this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.